even here in Indiana, the leading steel state, I think it'll be a big, it's a danger, it'll be a big net loser of jobs and obviously of cost to consumers.
That warning coming on Cavuto Coast to Coast yesterday from former Republican governor of the #1 steel-producing state in America, Mitch Daniels of Indiana. Now, right behind Indiana, you can see in the #2 poll position, Ohio. And the sentiment in the Buckeye State isn't much better, where at least one congressman is taking a stand, saying the White House's plans to punish countries it says are taking advantage of the U.S. is all wrong. Still, we're now joined by that lawmaker, Congressman Warren Davidson. Congressman, it's the day after. It appears that Mexico and Canada are temporarily exempt. Do you change your opinion at all here?
Well, I think that was an important decision because it signals the value of having a strong trade relationship with the United States, and that's something to work with. But, you know, I spent the past 15 years in manufacturing. I think the president is exactly right to be focusing on bad actors. I've experienced bad trade policy firsthand, so I'm with a lot of company, though, and concerned that a uniform tariff kind of unites people against the United States when we could be uniting people to take action on bad trade practices.
Who, besides Canada and Mexico, do you feel should have been absolutely exempt from these tariffs right off the bat?
Well, I think the idea that you would have uniform tariff on every product is one of the big concerns. So, you know, there are certain commodity grades that are important for the United States, but also important in the steel consuming industries. You know, we've got 6.5 million manufacturing jobs that use steel or aluminum and under 200,000 jobs that produce it. And I think the other piece is in communicating the implementation, just letting supply chains have time to react would have been better. But in terms of targeting some of the bad actions, if you look at AK Steel here in Ohio, they're the lone survivor of uniform grain conductive electrical steel, and they've been abused with intellectual property theft and subsidized competition, not just targeted at the United States, but targeted specifically at them to take market share.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that we're showing the stock right now of AK Steel. It's down $4 and 4.5% rather, and really it's just a $5 and change stock at this point. What is contrasting with your opinion is the opinion of steel workers, many of whom surrounded the president yesterday. These people and their communities have been decimated. You know, being from Western Ohio, and yet you also know, having worked directly in manufacturing. You know, we really appreciate congresspeople who've actually had their hands in business, and that is you, that person. But how do you close that gap or square with how steel workers feel right now? They're happy. They're applauding.
Well, they should be happy, and, you know, frankly, as an AK shareholder, I'm happy that there's some progress for the businesses in that sector. And I think a lot of people, when you look at their pension funds, they've been happy over the course of the year. Overall, the economy is going great, and I think there's a bit of enthusiasm in America's domestic production. The concern, though, is that we unite other countries, and what we won't be seeing is the slow reduction in investment. So we've got a big win with tax reform, and it's a bigger win than this setback with trade is. But, you know, I already met with companies that have, it's cost them tens of millions of dollars already to react to the gaps in the supply chain. And how are they going to make that up? They're going to reduce their investment and reduce jobs in other sectors.
I find it really interesting that the steel consuming industries are the top 3 that export from Ohio, and that is, of course, manufacturing. You guys also have industrial machinery, aircraft, spacecraft, and parts. So where do you expect to see, if your anticipation is correct, where do you expect to see the first cracks and negative effect from these tariffs that you feel is coming?
Well, just the discussion of it already shifted costs in supply chain. So lead times may have been 12 weeks, and now they're 18 weeks. So you've got a 6-week gap that has to be closed. And so they have to make spot purchases. That's going to cost, in one case, I spoke with a company, it's going to cost them over $10 million to just lock in production for the year to cover those gaps already. And so, and on Wall Street, they buy up that market. It's an arbitrage opportunity to fill that production. So this is already going to cost the supply chain, and it's not all going to go on to the consumer. In between, companies are going to be hit with this negative variance to their original plan, and it's going to cause them to reduce their investment And that's how it's going to play out through the whole economy.
Okay.
There will be wins, though, and the wins will be important. And I guess the next concern is what do other countries do? And if they do, in fact, unite against the United States and retaliate, one of the biggest vulnerabilities for the United States is agriculture, because we are very dependent on agriculture exports to keep our current market strong.
Okay. It's good to see you, Congressman. The backdrop is not Dayton, it's Columbus, but you represent the Dayton area. Really good to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congressman Warren Davidson. I worked at WSYX Action 6 News in Columbus, Ohio, back in the day.